Hello everybody, today we're doing a video for GTA Car Kits and this 2014 Nissan Altima, and today we're going to be showing you how to install this Android based stereo. It features a big 9-inch screen with the IPS display like an on modern phone. This unit, as you can see, doesn't lag, it's very quick. You can still do things like a phone, a radio and Bluetooth music, but then you get extra functions like connecting this unit to a personal hotspot or Wi-Fi network, so you can access PlayStore and use apps like Spotify, Google Maps, Waze, and you have live traffic updates. This unit also supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with this optional CarPlay module. Now we're going to quickly demonstrate how Apple CarPlay works. So as you see, we have the module connected here. We're going to connect our phone. We're going to go to apps, and you're going to go to the AutoPlay app, and you're going to make sure that your phone is unlocked. Here you go. So this is standard Apple CarPlay, and from here you can do Google Maps, Waze, and if you use these apps through the actual Apple CarPlay, then you don't have to connect this unit to the personal hotspot. It will use the data from your phone. So the steering wheel controls will still work, your original steering wheel controls. On the display over there is going to show which station or track you're playing. So everything will be like original, but with way more functions. You can also connect a rear view camera to it, or a dashboard camera. And now we're going to show you how to install it in this Nissan Altima. So the tools that you're going to need to install this Android stereo is a Phillips screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, and some sort of panel removal tool. And we're going to start with our panel removal tool, and we're going to get underneath here, and we're going to drop down this panel here. So we're going to now remove these two silver pieces, and to do that, get underneath, and then it just comes off. It's held on clips, but on this side it's getting held by this panel, so that's why you have to remove it. And we also need to remove it and drop it down because we need to feed our microphone and antenna wires. So now we're going to do the other side. It comes off. So now we're going to use our Phillips screwdriver, and we're going to remove these 4 screws. So there's 2 on this side and there's 2 on this one. So we're going to go ahead and remove them. So now we're going to remove this panel on top of the stereo. There's 2 connections here. We're going to also disconnect them so it gives us more room. So you simply do that by pressing the clips. So at this point you can use your flathead screwdriver. Then we're going to remove this panel right here under the stereo. And just simply, first you pull it towards yourself and then pull it down. There's 2 clips right here which hold it. So we're just going to leave it right like this. And now you're going to see there's 2 bolts at the bottom of the stereo, which we're going to go ahead and remove with our Phillips screwdriver. And there's 2 on top. We're going to go ahead and remove these 4 screws. So at this point we're going to remove the radio. So you're going to wiggle it around, and you're going to see there's connections at the back of the stereo, and we're going to remove all of them. So again, we're going to use our flathead screwdriver to help us do that. And this one, you have to actually click on its side, just like that. So at this point you can put away the original radio. And now we're going to show you how to install the microphone and the antenna on top of the A-pillar here. So with the driver door open, we're going to remove this side panel. It comes off. And now we're going to drop down this weather stripping so we can hide the wires behind it. Now we have our microphone and the antenna, the 2 wires, which have to go behind the stereo. So we're going to start with one. We're going to take our microphone, simply put it there. And you also gonna drop down this panel fully, so there's space to feed the wires through, just like that. So this is our microphone. Now we're gonna take our GPS and do the same thing. We're also gonna put it here. So once you have the two wires on the inside, you can now hide the wire behind the weather stripping. Just like that. As you can see, the wire is hidden, and then you're gonna put this panel back and we'll cover everything. And now we're gonna continue on the inside. So now on the inside, you're gonna keep going with these two wires, and you're gonna put them behind this metal. And you're gonna pull them through, just like that. And now here, like I said, our main goal is to get it behind the radio. Just like that. And once we have it here, as you can see, there's plenty of wire left. So you can use one of the cable ties to make it more neat. And then when you're going to be putting this panel back, it's going to hide all the wires, so you're not going to see anything. As you can see here, you only have the antenna and the microphone visible. So next we're going to wire the two USB cables, and we're going to wire them to the glove box. So just simply going to open the glove box, and we're going to use this existing hole. As you can see, we pulled the wire to the back of the radio, and these USB connections can be just left in the glove box, and it still closes the same way, so it's not in the way of anything. So this is our Android stereo, and these are the connections. So everything will be plug and play, so you just have to match the existing connections that came in your car to the plugs that you received with the radio. So some of the plugs are going to be left unplugged, and that's fine, because this is for different configurations of wiring, so that's normal. So the gray one is for the antenna. Also, this original connection is for the auxiliary, but this car doesn't have an auxiliary except for the radio. So if your car has auxiliary in the armrest or below the radio, you would have to connect it, and there's a connection that comes with our stereo. And then we're gonna plug in this USB, which we wire to the glove box. So there's only one place where this one can plug in, and it's here. Next is the antenna. It goes on this side. We're also gonna take our microphone, and it plugs in right here. And the last thing is the antenna for Wi-Fi. And for this particular car, that's all the wiring you're gonna do. And if your car has like I said, the stock auxiliary, there's a plug to connect to this original connection. Or if you have a rear view camera, there's also a harness for that, but this car doesn't have either of those things. So at this point, you're gonna make sure that the cables are not in the way, and you're gonna put the stereo on the car. So there's two connections on two clips on top, and then it's going to be held by the two screws. Once you have the radio installed, you got to make sure that these wires are not in the way, and we're going to put this panel back. So first we're going to do the two clips underneath, then you kind of pull it up and clip it on the stereo. So make sure that the clips at the bottom go in, and now we're going to take our two screws and put them back. So now we're going to install this original panel with the vents back. So just going to put the connections back. Just like that. And it's going to click back in. And now we're going to again reinstall the two original screws for this panel. So now we're going to put these original panels back. I'm going to start sort of from the top. I'm going to make sure it lines up everywhere. and clicks on. Now with the driver's side. So after these two side panels, we're gonna put the panel under the steering wheel bag. So you're gonna start closer to the driver's door panel here, and then this one simply goes back. And now we're gonna put back this side panel which we took out earlier. So it's simply and that's it. So at this point the installation is done, and now we're gonna test the radio. So the first time you're gonna turn on the stereo, it's gonna take a little longer to load, and you can go into settings and adjust the auto sleep mode. So every time you turn off and on the car, it will boot way quicker. But this is just the first time booting this radio. So one of the first things you're gonna test is the sound. So you can go simply to your radio, and as you can hear, everything is playing. You're also going to check your steering wheel controls. Everything is working. And next track is working. So after that, you can go into your Bluetooth music and pair your phone for Bluetooth music. You also can connect the stereo to your personal hotspot or Wi-Fi network. And also it will adjust the time, and you can adjust the time manually. And we also have an in-depth video of showing all the functions of this radio. And at this point, the installation is done. And this was a video for GTA Car Kits. I hope you liked it, and we'll see you next time.